And today temperatures are much cooler than they were back in 1936.
In 1936, that's when Lincoln set a record that will likely never be broken again within our lifetimes. That's according to climatologists. Channel 8's Jessica Blum has more on today's history. Jessica?
Yes, on this day back in 1936, Lincoln set the highest recorded temperature ever to date for the city. Lincoln got to be 115 degrees without factoring humidity. People back then were looking for any way to keep cool, rigging car radiators or ordering an extra ice block with the use of a fan to cool off the room in the house. So far this year, Lincoln has only gotten above 100 degrees twice. The first time was on June 13th when Lincoln got to 103 degrees, and the second was this past Saturday when the high was 102. In comparison, in 1936, there were 41 days that year that got above 100 degrees, without widespread technology to relieve the heat.
There was some air conditioning. It had been invented, but really you'd only find it, probably movie theaters would be about the only place you would have it in town. They were great big units, and so it wasn't really yet practical to have it in your home. So if you could go to the movies, that might be a good way to stay cool.
And because it's summer in Nebraska, heat has been in the forecast for most of the past 2 months, and August does not appear to be different. But it could be worse, experts say.
We've had 2 days this summer that have reached 100 degrees. 2. But in 1936, there were 41 days of above 100 degree temperatures. Without air conditioning, I cannot imagine what it was like.
Back then, if the house wasn't cool enough, historians say people would take mattresses to their front porch or walk to public places with a blanket with the hope of a breeze.
But other people, if they didn't have a good place, would come to the Capitol. That was apparently well known as public ground where you could sleep. People who lived here at that time remember that people would start showing up as early as 4 or 4:30 in the afternoon, apparently to get a good spot.
The temperatures from that stretch were due to a massive heat wave that set up over the center of the U.S. In our lifetimes, experts say these conditions will probably not ever happen again.
It's going to be hot, but not record hot. Record high temperatures in the month of July, this 115 record high for today. Well, there are a couple days where the record high is 112, and another day it's 111, 108, 110. So the records are way up into the hundreds, and we've barely cracked the 100 degree mark.
Today, 86 years later, we reached a daytime high in the lower 70s with access to air conditioning in our cars, homes, and workplaces. Today, the lawn of the Capitol is quiet and damp. Within Lincoln, this July has seen 13 days of highs in the 90s or higher, and the normal for this month is 14. Rain chances continue with lower temperatures for the rest of the week, but according to experts, our next shot at a heat wave will be right on time at the beginning of August.
It's always kind of fun to go back in history and see how things were and imagine how they were coping during those times. Thank you so much, Jessica. A huge